it was very strictly forbidden by Hadhrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Mr. Shaukat Jingur again. In the Sunni Jamaat and others, when someone dies, there is a custom for relatives and friends to gather and recite the Holy Quran and other qasidas during the first 40 days. Is there anything wrong with this custom? If not, why does our Jamaat don't do it?
Yes, there is something very wrong about this custom, because this custom did not prevail during the time of Hadhrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, nor during the time of his Khulafa, nor during the time of the first few generations after the Khulafa. So, if it were to be considered a good custom, it should have started from the source of goodness. It should not have been added later on.
Miss Farida Bagalu, who is a Mauritian Ahmadi.
Where is she? She's here somewhere? Okay.
Her question is about people who die in accidents. Is it their fate, or could it be interpreted as a punishment?
It is not a punishment. In some cases, it is a sort of shahadat as well, because Hadhrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam has counted such people among shuhada. That is, if they meet their end, for instance, by the mistake of some others, and die in such accidents, or even by their own mistakes, overpowered with sleep, etc., then Allah forgives them, and their death, although is untimely, but the remaining of their life is counted to be good by Allah. And in that sense, they earn the title of shahadat. It's not the same shahadat as that which stands prime in Islam, but it falls under the category of lower order of shahadat. Thank you.
Mr. Amit Hashia, who is an Albanian student.
Yes, please.
Why are so much trouble, trials and tribulation affecting the Muslims of Kosovo, Iran and Iraq?
If you study the history profoundly, you will find the answers somewhere during their past mistakes regarding their dedication to Islam. If they had been truly dedicated to Islam, I'm quite sure you will not find this problem, for instance, in Kosovo, Albania, etc. Because in the past they were negligent in their duty to Islam and to obedience to God. And in a way, this crisis has brought them back to the realization that they are Muslims. So sometimes there are blessings in disguise. So although this disguise is horrible to look at, but ultimately if you analyze it, it still will turn out to be a blessing in the end.
I have a question from an Ahmadi Muslim from Mauritius, but they haven't given their name.
Why? If they are here, they should.
It is a question about
They
interest.
should raise their hands. If not, then don't read the question.
A question about interest for
No, don't read the question. If a person does not own it, none does.
The next questioner is Zahida from Mauritius, who is a Muslim.
Zahida or Zahida?
Zahida.
Zahida, yes.
I apologize. I am a nurse, and as part of my job, I assist surgeons to prepare operations. Some of these operations are terminations of pregnancy.
Yes.
I am not very happy to do this. Could you please give me your advice and opinion?
If you are not happy, try to find an alternative job. It's your problem. But as long as you have to do it, Islam is not against it. By way of performance of your duties to serve people in the matters of health, such things happen. And because there is no concept of sexuality being involved in this, that is to say, that does not appear in your mind at all. You do it with a sense of only your duty and no more. So do the operators. So no bad points can be attributed to this practice, but if possible, and if you do not feel happy with it, you can change your profession. You will change your not your profession only, but you can change your position in the same hospital or in some other hospital. You do not have to perform these things yourself.
Hazur, we have the name of the person who asked the previous question.
Yeah.
It was Mrs. Salima Sukhya, who is on the ladies' side.
Salima Sukhya.
That's why we didn't see her hand.
She's over there.
Yes.
Okay.
As Muslims, we are not allowed to use interest money except bank interest, which is used for publication of religious literature. My question is it allowed on a personal basis for someone to use this money to buy and give books for preaching to non-Muslims?
No. Interest does not belong to the person because it's forbidden in Islam. So instead of throwing it away, you should give it to the Jamaat to spend it in the cause of Islam, because all money, everything belongs to God. So there is no question of halal or haram in relation to the work of God. So that is why I insist that personally that person should not be permitted to use it even in service of Islam of his own choice, because that will be as if it belonged to him, that money belonged to him or her. It doesn't belong to him or her at all. Please.
Mr. Ahad Banu.
Ahad Banu. Yes, please.
3 questions, Hazur.
Yes.
Firstly, Hazur mentioned that it was wrong for actors to depict the Holy Prophet, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, for actors to depict the Holy Prophet, to play the part
to play the part of the Holy Prophet, yes, it is wrong.
Would this also apply to other prophets, as we know
Yes,
they have...
to all prophets. Right.
Second question. A poet, I think it was Shakespeare, said, "If music be the food of love, then play on." Does
If music,
be the food of love, then play on?
what sort of love did he mention?
I don't know.
It all depends on what love he has in mind.
Mr. Banu continues to ask, does music have a role to play in Islamic society? If not, what is the use of the undoubted talent and skill of those who create and those who play music?
You see, music does not require dependence on instruments. The true music is the harmony of soul. So as such, people who were given to music prior to Islam, after the appearance of Islam, were totally dedicated to the recitation of the Holy Quran in good voice. And they were so deeply influenced by the music of the Quran that it was not a sacrifice on their part to abandon the other music. It was a just natural urge with them. So the same can be